We finally get to one of the more interesting blogs, and that's the weapons. I'm looking forward to the camo one as well. So the armaments, we get primary, secondary, melee weapon. We're aware of that. So primary weapons, obviously we know about the XM4. And then we're going to get the 7 assault rifles, 6 SMGs, 2 shotguns. LMGs will be 3, marksman 4, and snipers 3. Secondary weapons will be getting 6 of those, 4 pistols and 2 launchers. Glad they didn't make too many of those. And then melee weapons, we're going to have 2, the knife and the baseball bat. So we already got a chance to see some of those, use those. Obviously we know the player progression. We're going to be able to unlock those as we level up. And then that's pretty much it. You don't have to do anything special to get any of the other items. How you'll unlock them immediately, you'll start with the XM4, the C9, the Marine SP, the PS21. So basically 1 in each category. So if you like a specific weapon, you're going to have it unlocked immediately. And then as you go through, you'll be able to unlock those all the way up to level 55. And then once you hit level 55 and you max that level out, you'll get the opportunity to prestige if you choose to. And then it'll reset you back to level 1. And then you'll go ahead and do that grind all over again, I believe with some prestige tokens. I'm not sure if they've covered exactly how those things work, but there you go. Then for the assault rifles, so now we're going to have the XM4, cool, base gun, we're used to it, AK-74, all right, cool, the AIMS 85, we got to utilize these, the GPR 91, all right, so this is assault rifle, okay. Model L, the Goblin. Ooh, we're going to be able to call it the Goblin Mark. It is an ugly looking gun. Only 20 round mag though. Excels at short to medium range. There isn't an operator can take a full advantage. I mean, it's an ugly looking gun, but all right, cool. That's probably one of the new ones. I don't think there's ever been in Call of Duty. And then we got the AS Val, which makes its return. And then we get into the SMGs. So we're going to have the C9, which kind of like some we're used to. The KSV, all right, cool. And the Tanto, we got the Tanto, the PP919, and the Jackal, the Compact 92. So none of these guns are super crazy names, thankfully. Shotguns, we get the Marine SP, nice. The ASG 89. That's a shotgun? That is a fast firing one, right? Yep, all right, cool. Solid rate of fire. LMGs, the PU-21. All right. And we got the XMG, the GPMG-7. And then we got marksman rifles, the SWAT, which we got to use. Was that Sarkov 7.62? Another ugly looking gun. We get the AEK 973. We're going to call that the EEK, I guess. That one's cool looking. We got the DM10. All right, cool. And then the sniper rifles. Only 3 might piss some people off. I'm not a fan of sniping. I hate the snipers and camo grinding and all that stuff. But snipers, they don't get all that love all that often. Just like melee people. They're only gonna have 2 weapons. I don't know. LS3A1 frost line. So we got the frost line. All right, cool. The SVD, all right, that makes its return. And then the LR762. All right, and that's it. That's all you're going to get. Pistols, 9mm PM. All right, cool, basic pistol. The Grekova. Hopefully that one's good. You got a good name. And then the GS45. Nice. Strider 22. And then the launchers. We're going to have the Sigma 2B. And then we're going to have the HE1, which just looks like an RPG modification, right? Cool. Knife and baseball bat. The way they had to put that graphic together is silly. All right, cool. So we get loadouts. We already got a chance to play the beta, but for anyone that hasn't and is still looking forward to the game and hasn't had a chance to play it, multiplayer, choose 3 types of weapons. You get primary, secondary, melee, which we can see here. And then you're going to get tactical, lethal, field upgrade. You're going to get your perks. You get your specialty. If they all match up, you're going to get a bonus. And then you get gunfighter, which is going to give you extra attachments. In terms of zombies, we already saw the loadout there yesterday. And then we kind of see how that lays out. Pretty straightforward concept. There's a wide variety of functional content to unlock on your journey through the level 55 levels. Every time you level up, be sure to check the barracks progression level unlocks shown above to ensure you're aware of the unlocks you have available to you. Expect between 1 and 3 unlocks per level, because obviously there's so much stuff they got to pack into 55 levels. And these unlocks will basically add up to your existing items, right? We get loadouts, weapons, all the way through gobblegums, operators. It could be any of those emotes and other features. Comms 5 with the progression will go a little bit more into detail on the prestige system, which we'll cover. We get a more detailed look at the firing range. So practice dummies, we got the various ranges. Dummies have 1, 2, okay, you can toggle. We got a chance to see this already. Global weapon builds, and this is one of the things that I noticed when we got a chance to play it early. You were able to create your class in multiplayer, and although these loadouts will be different, and normally what I do is I save a specific blueprint and then I just use that, right? That's the one I can use, and then maybe tweak an attachment. If you didn't really feel hard set on, ooh, let me make a blueprint, and I've gone this where I've made multiple blueprints and then I'm trying to make a new one, and it's like, oh, you're capped at 5. Well, that kind of sucks. So what will end up happening is you can have this one loadout where you build it, and then if you click on that one, it'll automatically equip the attachments that you have built for that in multiplayer. Well, then if you go over to Warzone and you just click on that same loadout, that's how it'll start. So maybe you want to put a higher zoom optic, maybe you want to put on a suppressor, whatever. You can change the one attachment, but if you like the way the one generally feels, you can lock it in. Same thing with zombies. Maybe you remove the optic because aim assist and the way zombies work, everything's going to be close range, and maybe there's different variables and you kind of adjust it. But then the global build can be one that it's just there, and then as you change it, it'll change it in each of them, and then you'll still have your opportunity to have your blueprints. If you want like a hard, this is only for multiplayer, that's it. But if it's a general build that you're going to use in all of them, then you can just copy it at the start and then have even if that's not the one you use, you can change an attachment and then you're locked in. So it kind of just creates that part. So pretty straightforward. Gunsmith attachment intel. So recap, as detailed in the Call of Duty Next, the focus of Call of Duty is condense and streamline the attachments so you can easily understand the bonuses when it comes to utilizing Gunsmith. Here are some changes. Gaining the advantages. Attachments almost always come with a benefit, a pro, and not a detriment, without a con. So you know you're creating a weapon more potent than the base version. And this was one of the biggest problems with MW2. And they had to rely on sliders and all this other stuff, whereas the average person building the class would end up making the gun feel worse. And it's kind of a terrible game design. And this is going back to a more basic system that is just more intuitive and easier to use. Optics for all. Almost all optics are shared across all weapons in a weapon class, meaning that if you unlock an optic in a rifle, you'll have it for all of your rifles. And it doesn't have an unlock requirement. So like, let's say if there's a quote unquote meta optic that you do use for short range, like a reflex, then what will happen is as soon as you unlock that reflex, no matter what, you barely unlock the aims, you'll be able to equip the reflex on it immediately because it doesn't have a level requirement. It'll just be empty there. So you can actually have the optic right off the bat. Versus how we've had in the past where it's like, oh, you got to get to level 7 before you can use this attachment and that attachment. If you have the attachment for the optic, you'll already be able to use it. Everything else is unique. All other attachment types, muzzle barrel, underbarrel magazine, you'll have to unlock those types of things as you go through. Getting specific, instead of having a weapon function such as the ADS speed being affected by multiple attachments that are difficult to keep track of, they are related to a single attachment type. For example, equipping a rear grip. Attachment will always improve your handling, and the grip you choose will boost a unique combination of handling stats: sprint to fire, slide to fire speed, dive to fire speed, and ADS speed, and a combination thereof. All the different grips are designed to improve the weapon's potency, not reduce it. That's pretty good. That'll also simplify it. There will still be meta options, but it'll lean towards a specific preference. You're like, if you're not diving that much, then maybe the other ones you'll lean more into the other specs, right? Information is power. The result of the new system is that it allows player to make informed weapon building decisions easily and create effective builds without constantly needing to look up meta builds online. Exactly. You won't have to look them up, but if there's questions, they'll still be there. So details matter. Don't mistake the Streamlined as dumbing down. The Gunsmith, yeah, it's simplifying. As your firepower, accuracy, handling, mobility statistics can also be seen in expanded view, and individual elements of the reload quickness and all the details are back. Okay, let's see what those look like before the replacement. So here's how the weapon looks. Pretty straightforward. And then what happens is, holy, Black Ops what attachments. Okay, we have a little chart there. Utilize them. So it kind of goes through. The chart's a little bit off the screen, so you'd have to reline it up. Key proceeding table following information related to weapon attachment. Yes, every weapon will have a weapon type, use, the ammo type. Yes, some, most, but not all weapon types will have this attachment. Yeah, exactly. And then it's just no. So that makes sense. We're used to that. Obviously, some weapons don't even have a magazine, because that's just the way the weapon works. Then you get the 5 attachment points. Unless you use the primary gunfighter, you pick as many up to 5 or none, or however you want to use your slots. Each weapon type has more available attachment types than points. Obviously, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots. So even if you use primary gunfighter, you're still not going to be able to attach one in each of the slots. So you're going to have to pick and choose what's most important to you. Main statistics and details. So we're going to have firepower, accuracy, mobility, and handling. And it is looking good. So there it is. That's kind of what we were waiting for, right? So I think a lot of this has gone through back and forth and talking. You can see the rate of fire, the bullet velocity, which is important. 750 is good. Mini-map firing ping, and that's how long you stay suppressed or unsuppressed for. When you put a suppressor, that'll go to 0. Target flinch. We got hip fire spread. Pretty straightforward. Mobility, they limited it to just 4 stats. Aim, walking, movement speed, that's strafe speed generally, depending what direction. And then we got the reload quickness, and they actually put it in milliseconds. So reload quickness would be 2.86 seconds, which is pretty cool. And then on empty, it would take you like about 300 milliseconds longer to go ahead and do that reload speed. So pretty cool. We get that. Then we also get the damage distribution here, where you can see where it's 22 for the entire body, which is going back to basics. And then we get a little bit of a headshot multiplier, which you can see there. And then when it drops off, it says damage at effective range of 7 meters. And then damage range beyond 45 meters is 17. So then you would have to do the math to figure out just what the headshot multiplier is, and you can actually figure it out because they've given us the exact range. But I wonder how they handle it with guns like an SMG, where it might have 3 damage drop-offs. Will it say the 3 here? Will it give you 7 meters, 21 meters, and 35 meters? Will it give you all of those? We'll have to see. For those requiring nuanced analytic data regarding every single attachment, you can toggle the details on and off, which enables you to see each attachment affects the weapon specifically and numerically, which that's a W. I'm glad they've continued to do these types of things. I know there's tons of websites. This just simplifies it and just makes it so that you're talking more about the information rather than spending all your time testing. I know in back in the day during Verdansk, I was doing 7-8 hours a day testing these types of things. And now I could just talk about these things, right? It's kind of a W in that way, and actually play the game instead of practicing and plunder. Attachments, a deep dive. So we got the optics, straightforward, muzzles, cool, barrels. Yeah, we're familiar with attachments in Call of Duty, under barrels, magazines, combs, yep, and rear grips. Interesting, it's combs and stocks, right? All right, stocks are over here, so those are a little bit different. Lasers, fire mods, that'll be cool. And then stock pads, and that's it. We got the progression one. I'm expecting that one probably on Monday. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching as always. Have a great day.